non-gimmicky, non-cash-in sequels I've seen in a long time.
Yeah. Well, that has been our about 8-minute movie review section of the podcast. I feel like we've done this every episode for almost like a half a year now. That one of us sees something like a movie, and we just talk about that.
It's as good a way as any to open up a podcast. You know how many other podcasts open up with "What you been playing" and so some weird random news roundup, which I hate. I hate that part of every gaming podcast. To be honest,
you mean you don't want to talk about me playing Luigi's Mansion right now? That's
is it good? I take it back. It's total contradiction. Caitie, what you been playing? I thought you were going to talk about something stupid. I go, fuck Luigi's Mansion.
I wasn't expecting that. Hold on, I'm dying. Oh God, don't make me laugh. I'm still recovering from a chest infection.
Caitie's lungs are still regaining their strength.
Not as good as the first one, but it's co-op, and me and my husband are having a lot of fun. That's my review. We're not done with it yet, so I'll let you know.
Awesome. I appreciate the succinct summary there.
Yeah, I also broke the 1,000-hour mark in Animal Crossing, and we're not talking about that because Dreadwolf! Dragon Age Dreadwolf! It's been 10 minutes! Dragon Age Dreadwolf! We have a title! Ah!
It's here.
I've been keeping it in for you guys. Yes, the internet just like exploded. Which let's do like a quick play-by-play, at least just by the history of it, just because I find that stuff interesting. Yeah. So I think at least I woke up to oh God, someone I like that talks to me a lot on Twitter and is in our chat a lot pinged me on it, but like a couple of them did, so I forgot who was first. I think you were pinged too. I don't know, of a guy who, I don't even remember his name. You interacted more than I did because I was busy that morning. So why don't you tell the story? We'll let you.
Oh, I was going to ask you where you were at. I don't know if we're talking about the same thing. I don't remember that maybe someone did ping me, but I just happened to be looking at Twitter in between meetings. Like I was fucking multitasking like a motherfucker because I was busy as hell whatever day that happened. And I just happened to look at my phone where I've given Twitter the honor of being back on my phone for a moment here. And I'm scrolling the timeline and I see Jeff Grubb's tweet. That's the first thing I saw.
Oh, okay. That wasn't the first. Okay, hold on. Let me go to my Discord because that's going to have a play-by-play here. But no,
Tom Henderson had the teaser tweet first, but for whatever reason, I saw that second in my timeline, and I was like, okay. Well, I know what this is. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So Tom's was first, and he just tweeted out. I think it was just he says Dreadwolf with an image with a gif of a dragon, and then the next tweet was a gif of Matt Damon aging. On a real quick, I just want to like give a friendly like dig at Jackdaw because he said the GIF was from Benjamin Button.
Benjamin Button, and it's not. It's Saving Private Ryan.
Yeah,
that's the one, right? It's one of those war movies. But yeah, we said Benjamin Button. I'm like, no.
I saw the same thing too. I go, what? I go, that's the other one's Brad Pitt. They're not the same.
Oh, but friendly.
We love you, Jack.
Yeah, but yeah. So and then he says like he says something afterwards, and like it was very blatantly like EA or whatever. Like, okay, yeah, it's Dragon, a guy aging from EA, Dreadwolf. And then Jeff Grubb was, and then he also gave a time. I think it was, what was it, 1 p.m. Eastern or something? I forget.
Tom Henderson said 1900. What is it, CET, which translated, I think, 1 Eastern.
Yeah. And then Jeff Grubb's tweet, which I actually didn't see till later. So what did Grubb tweet?
Grubb really didn't tweet anything. I mean, Grubb, I think he has his show, which this is the show that he does for Giant Bomb, I think. And he had a list of topics, and I think it just said like name or something like that.
Yeah, it was something like that.
But people were Jeff Grubb he's been reporting on the status of the Dragon Age Dreadwolf development for some time now, and so people were putting 2 and 2 together. I was putting 2 and 2 together. I was going to have some space to be listening to his show in the background. So I just popped on over to Twitch, and he led with that. And he said they're going to drop the title in about 90 minutes, which I thought was incredibly specific. So I tweeted that out.
Yeah.
And I think it was pretty clear to people who were paying attention to both series of tweets that the name was going to be Dreadwolf, and sure enough it was.
Which I just want to say, like, I think it's one thing to, like, leak out that, oh, they're going to drop the name in 90 minutes. I do think it was kind of douchey to also tweet out the name. You know? Like, I don't know. Let them do it. Like, you could just say, like, Dragon Age 1 p.m., and, like, that would have gotten people excited. But I don't think you needed to include the Dreadwolf. Whatever.
So you're talking about Henderson, right?
Yeah, Henderson, not Grubb.
Because Grubb specifically, I mean, I think Jeff Grubb knew. That's why he was alluding to, I think he said something like, the name is out there. There are hints if you want to look for it, which means he was declining to actually, I guess, spoil that. I feel you. I can see that line of thinking. I don't feel that way, but
that's fair.
I can see how people would think that.
Yeah. But yeah, either way, then like right at the time, there it was. It was actually, I think, on Twitter there was a blog and Twitter update at the same time or whatever.
Yeah.
And then the Dragon Age Twitter also updated their branding, I guess. It's not like that unique. It's an image it's basically stuff we've already seen, and they say that the rating pending is basically what every other game in the Dragon Age series has been. But yeah, we also get to look at the logo, and we can talk about, well, sort of the logo in the background. There's actually like a little bit of something to the thing they posted, and then they also have a little blog post that's pretty short. So what do you want to talk about first?
Well, the image, I mean, there is probably more to the image than someone like me can ascertain, but it is the same image as the ones we had gotten previously. It's just a GIF where some of the symbols are changing.
Yeah,
I guess that's where I want to start.
Okay, so we'll start. So in I guess for future reference, we're specifically talking about the like animated GIF. It's actually a video, whatever, that was posted on Twitter and Instagram, and it has like a circle in the background. If you actually go to like the icon for their Twitter page, it doesn't have that, so we're not talking about that because obviously there's nothing there. But in the very first mural that we got for Dragon Age, what is now Dreadwolf, at the time it was just the Dreadwolf Rises trailer, there was this, what I called the tambourine, because it was like a white circle, and it had like these little half circles kind of dotting along the side of it, and it looked like a tambourine, and had like the little things were bells. In the original image, it had the idol in the middle of it, and there were 7 little bells, each with their own little star. And like, there's a whole bunch of like breakdown in the imagery. I have a whole video on it. But what at the time, what we thought it could mean was that because there was 2 of the bells that were bright and the other ones were dark, and that there were 7 of them, that it represented how many old gods there were. And the ones that were killed and released were dark, and then the 2 that were remaining were light. And then now in this one, it is that same imagery with the circle and the dotted lines and the bells in the background, except for 2 differences. One is kind of broken up into a little bit different. It's a little bit like 3D-ish. But the 2 bright bells have actually changed location. One went from the top to the bottom. Now they're side by side. And then a set of 7, there's only 6. Now, granted, it is cut off a little bit, but you can see like where almost all of them are except for one. Where is that 6th one? I don't know. Probably one of the best theories that I saw. I also want to give a shout out to people on my Discord, because while I was busy with the toddler and like real life stuff, they were just coming up with a whole bunch of stuff that I just read later. I'm like, oh, I've had no time to think about this, and these are really good ideas. And thank you guys. And so one of the ideas that they all had was that the 6th one represents your Themiel, and because that like god soul it could either be in Kirin and taken by Mythal, or it could be destroyed. That one's in like a weird limbo, so that one's not there. Or it could really just be like it's cut off and we don't see it. But then again, like you can see remnants of all the others except for that one, so people are a little curious to what's going on there. There is some also talk about like the little stars that's in between like the bells, like one's like missing a spoke, but I think has to do more with like the quality of the image because it's on Twitter and Instagram, they had to downgrade it a little bit. And like the way it was animated, it just kind of fades out weirdly, and it's not supposed to do that. It just kind of like looks weird. I think that's that. But yeah, it's just repeated imagery, but things are slightly different, and everyone's curious as to why.
What's your favorite, I guess, conclusion or theory? I guess it's not fair to call it a conclusion, but what do you think are the best guesses? Or is there anything really that you take away that's like, okay, this is the overall takeaway from the image?
I think the main takeaway is right now I think this is more just echoing that one mural at the beginning. I think everything else that people have taken out from it, we can't really say for certain until we're actually in the game. There was one theory I saw. I think a couple of people have said it, but I think the one that I got first was from an artist, Kissy, on Twitter, and they they DM'd me saying like, could the placement of, because like one of the bright bells is now near the bottom, could this be like a doomsday clock type of thing? And when the two bells are closer to each other, or like maybe overshadow each other, would that mean like it's released, it's here, or something like that? I'm like, oh, I kind of like that idea. That would make more sense as to why it moved. But like we don't know. You know, I feel like since they're like right next to each other right now, it would make more sense if like the bright bell was like in the middle of the tambourine rather than at the bottom now. I don't know. I think they could make it more clear if that was their intention. So yeah, I guess my main takeaway is I do think this is something old god related, and I do think the bright ones represent the old gods that are still locked away. I don't know if this means the double blight, because everyone keeps saying, they're like, oh, double blight, both of the old gods are going to come back at the same time. I don't know, maybe. But yeah. So I guess that's my main takeaway. It's definitely an echo to a previous thing, and that this imagery is still important, whatever it may be. I guess that's what I get from it.
Cool. My main takeaway is that it's fucking purple.
I love purple. I'm so excited for the purple. I get people really like the gold and whatever, but I think, I'll be, despite my branding being orange and yellow, I fucking hate orange and yellow. Least favorite color. And the fact that they came out with this beautiful neon purple, and I don't care how gaudy it is, I actually love these colors together. I'm excited. I know I'm in the wrong, and I don't give a shit. It's bright and it's neon, and I love it.
You should. If it's your favorite color, I mean, you should be ecstatic. And I am joking when I say my main takeaway is that it's purple.
Pretty fucking
I turn my head like, oh, I go, that's not the color scheme I expected, but it's striking. I mean, it stands out. So like, okay, sure.
I mean, yeah, like so far, everything else we've gotten has been kind of like a gold isn't rust really, but like a rusty-ish, goldish, brownish, grimy gold deal. So like this like clean. Someone called it Dragon Age Cyberpunk, and I'm like, okay, yeah, I can see that fantasy cyberpunk. But like, granted, we kind of saw that in one of the trailers. It looked like they had like magical neon lights or something in one of those trailers.
It's interesting. I mean, since Dragon Age Origins into Dragon Age 2 and Inquisition, I think that the visual language of the Dragon Age franchise has continued to move from a somewhat generic high fantasy aesthetic in Origins to something that's kind of uniquely Dragon Age and actually identifiable at a glance as Dragon Age. And so I think that journey is continuing and will continue in Dreadwolf. And so good on them. It's going to strike some people as being a little bit peculiar, but that's the price for trying to be unique. So
yeah. I guess I like it. I don't know. Like I can totally see why this isn't someone's thing. However, this is right up my alley, so I am quite pleased. I know a lot of people also are upset, which we can have that spiel in a second. They don't like the name Dreadwolf because they're so tired of Solas. I like Solas. I like purple. I like gaudy neon colors. This is my game, guys.
Well, also, I mean, I'm glad. Also, it's like, this is one image, right?
Oh,
it's
yeah.
Like, if all the buildings in Mithrathis are purple, I'm gonna have an issue. But this is one image, right? So it's just one image. The color, I'm sure that the full game is gonna have a wide range of aesthetics and color palettes in use. This is one image. I like the Dreadwolf font. Never mind the actual main Dragon Age logo. I actually think that Dreadwolf font looks cool.
Yeah, I like how the A kind of looks like a little alluvian. I think that's pretty cute.
You're right. I did not even see that, but you're 100% right. So as much as you can talk about an image, because that's exciting, the name overall, you kind of alluded to it. We now know what it is. Dragon Age, Dreadwolf. You're good on this one? 2 thumbs up?
Okay, here's the thing. It's a fucking name. I don't really give a shit.
That is the only right answer, by the way, Kate. I'm actually really proud of you because that's the only fucking right answer.
It's fine. Honestly, I think I would only be mad if they called it like Dragon Age Butthole or something.
I'd be mad. The reason why that answer is so right is if the name of it is fucking Dragon Age dildos on a carousel and it's the greatest fucking RPG ever, game of the year. I don't fucking care. I don't care what it's called. Just make the game good. And so they can call it Dreadwolf. They can call it whatever the fuck they want. Just please make, in the year 2023, just please make the best RPG for right now, And I think that we could tear apart what that means on a lot of different levels. But if there is something to be said about Inquisition as constructive feedback, is that I think it was trying to be Skyrim in some places where it shouldn't have been.
Yeah.
And what to kind of, I'm hopping around here, but one thing that Todd Howard said over at Bethesda was when we go to make Elder Scrolls 6 or when we go to make Starfield, we have to be mindful of the fact that it's been a long time since Skyrim, and it's been even a long time since Fallout 4. And so when he was talking about Elder Scrolls 6, he's like, a fantasy RPG is very different in today's climate than it was in 2011. That's a super mindful thing to be aware of. When Dragon Age Dreadwolf started its development, what you were going for with the fantasy RPG was probably The Witcher 3. And now there's been this really cool CRPG revival where I kind of hope what everyone's going for is Pillars of Eternity and Divinity and the Pathfinder games. Especially not every fantasy RPG, because some are first person and some are different, but or you could put the Souls games as an RPG, which is kind of iffy, but I kind of feel like the RPGs that BioWare pioneered once upon a time are now having a revival. And I don't know if the team that's working on Dragon Age Dreadwolf wants to make a game like that, or they want to make something totally different, but
they might, but slowly the game has been getting rid of anything tactical, so I would be I wouldn't be surprised if they just didn't go, especially since when they started Direction, Witcher 3 was the way to go, and it's in, I think, pre-production, or are we in production? I forget what they're saying.
Trespasser was 2015, so when they finally finished, right? And Witcher 3 came out that year.
Yeah, so and granted it's been rebooted, but I think the CRPG revival didn't really hit until in 2020 maybe, and the game was well in development by that time.
No, it was Pillars of Eternity came out in 2014.
But they didn't have huge successes. I feel like it wasn't really until Baldur's Gate where people were really paying attention, until the new Baldur's Gate, that paying attention to man, maybe these CRPG things are kind of cool, maybe we should do more of those. I feel like I feel like we missed the boat with Dreadwolf. Maybe the next one, but I feel with Dreadwolf we missed the boat on not being The Witcher 3.
Yeah, I would say maybe just be The Witcher 3. No, I got a bit off my point. I guess what I was trying to say in relation to the title was, my opinions notwithstanding, whatever the BioWare team wants to do, I don't care what they call it. As long as their mindset is, we're going to set a new stake in the ground about what we think our RPG should be today. Mm-hmm. Who really cares about the title? I mean, I think Dreadwolf is a cool sounding title. I think if you said that to a person who doesn't know the franchise, the term Dreadwolf just sounds cool.
Yeah. We also cannot run away from the fact that as soon as you said Dragon Age dildos, I had just taken a sip of water and I am now covered in water. And I'm not that happy about it, but so that's just my shirt's wet now. But anyway, yeah. I agree. I do kind of want to say no balls by saying they didn't do Dragon Age Fen'Harel. Because that's the more lower appropriate bullshit, but fine, it's fine. As I once said, at least my mom understands Dreadwolf, and she's go, Fen'Harel, what's that? What game do you want, Caitie? Okay, mom, whatever. But yeah, I am curious though why they decided to go with the one word rather than the two word, which it has been in the past.
There's got to be a trademark thing around that, right?
Maybe, I don't know. That makes sense if it is Dread and Wolf cannot be trademarked, but the one word Dreadwolf.
That's what I'm thinking of, right? It spelled as one thing. It's a trademarkable.
Yeah, actually, that's probably right. But they couldn't trademark Inquisition and Origins, so why? Maybe this. I don't know.
I get Dragon Age Origins. Maybe they could. I'm not sure, but I know they still spell the lore spelling is Dreadwolf, 2 words.
Yeah, it's even. Oh, we haven't even talked about the post they made. Yeah, they in the same post they had Dreadwolf 2 words and Dreadwolf 1 word.
For the title is Dreadwolf 1 word, and the term is 2 words.
Yeah. Which let's quickly touch on the blog post. So for the most part, the blog post isn't a lot. It just kind of saying yeah, this is we named it after Solas because there's all these questions and we get to do something with that. But the main takeaway of this is bolded more Dragon Age Dreadwolf later this year. And is it that has to be the Game Awards, right? Because they've done pretty much everything with this game has come out of the Game Awards.
That is true, but I mean, I don't know. I mean, it's hard to speculate at this point because we've seen Game Awards where they didn't do anything. So
that's true, but let's see, we've gotten the one where Varric's in it. We've gotten obviously Dreadwolf Rises trailer. And then we had the behind the scenes. And of those 3, 2 of them were at the Game Awards. So I guess I'm just assuming Game Awards. And I think the other one was Gamescom, which is in August. So yeah, maybe come August we see something. But if it's later this year, I can. So far they have not announced a show, either EA. So I guess in theory it could be the all around show that's on the 9th. But
Jeff. I mean, it's a Jeff. The only thing that I think there is the Game Awards is a Jeff Keighley thing, and he's kind of all over the place now with events that he does. So perhaps, but also not that it isn't somewhat fun to speculate when we're going to get the next thing and what we're going to get. But this is something that I think. It's not that I'm tired of waiting. It's that I think I'm just becoming more content not thinking about this game coming out until it's out.
I get that. It's been a while. We've been doing this for 5 years, Jordan.
Yeah,
roughly.
And we've done it through basically. I get it, Anthem, and yes, we started this after Andromeda. But the only thing that's come out since we've started is Anthem.
Yeah.
So we've kind of been Bioware content creators during the biggest drought of meaningful Bioware content ever.
I mean, yeah.
So it'd be really great if these guys fucking make this game already. But hey, it's ready when it's ready. It'll come out when it's done. You don't want it to be rushed. And there's a million other things to play. I tweeted something the other day about how video game news is a very different hobby than video games.
Yes.
And that's okay. That's not a pejorative against video game news. Some people really, really like video game news. That it's fun for them. And I used to think I was one of them. But the more I've spent time, it's not just this game. It's everything. It's Starfield. It's Baldur's Gate 3. It's Avowed. It's all of the different stuff. Where I've realized Oh, I don't really like video game news that much. I like video games. I'd rather go play old shit that I miss. Like I'm having a blast playing Pathfinder, Kingmaker, not Wrath of the Righteous, the old one, because I never got around to it. I'm having a blast with that, and that's not to say that it's not kind of fun to speculate about Dragon Age, because in some sense it is. But the thing that baffles me, like talking about this title, is people who are like ready to make proclamations about the game that we don't know anything about this game.
Yeah. There was a lot of people upset that Solas was back. And like I even tweeted this out, like I get Solas and the Solvelans and the people that want to fuck the bald man have been like so dominant in like the fandom mindset for the past, better part of a decade. But like Dreadwolf, even before Solas even came onto the scene, was incredibly important in the lore. So I guess me personally, I read the Dreadwolf title more as exploring like all the shit that he has his hands in, and not so much just the character. Like he's involved in the Blights, in the Titans, in pretty much he could be involved in Andraste. Like there's a little bit of like the Dreadwolf in so much of the lore that it's like every video I have to bring up the Solas at some point. Like he's involved in so much. So if anything, I'm just kind of excited. Like, okay, does this mean we're going to get answers? Like, okay, yeah, Shartan was not actually Solas; it was something. And then he did wake the Titans, and like we kind of get a lot of things cleared up, because that would be great. I honestly like. I know this isn't the end of Dragon Age because it makes money, and even if they make this the end of Dragon Age, if it makes money, they're going to make more of them. But I'm really hoping this game has a lot of nice like bookends to a couple questions we have. Will they? I don't know, but with a name like Dreadwolf, it makes me more hopeful that's something we see.
Yeah. See, this is the stuff that's interesting to talk about, like the actual lore, and because that is actually what you want to talk about. And so I think you just made a really great point about how if what they were doing, and this is not what they're doing, but if what they are doing is taking a character that they introduced in the third game and making everything about him, that could be seen as, that would be legitimate if they wanted to. They're making it all up. They can do what they want. But it would be a little bit on the lazier side, a little bit more shoehorned. That's not what they're doing. They put that character into Inquisition because all of this pre-established lore had set up this figure as being like kind of the central antagonist / central hero, depending on who you ask, of the lore, right? Like the trickster, the one who locked up the elven gods. Everything else is sort of predicated on the elven pantheon, and he's the thing that sort of disrupted that. The Veil, they're not shoehorning in, everything's about Solas. They decided to include Solas as who he is because it was always there to begin with.
Yeah. Like from Dragon Age, like there's clearly stuff in Origins, but like it was really starting in Dragon Age 2. Like, hey, this Fen'Harel guy, huh? Hey, this Fen'Harel guy, huh? That's kind of. Hey, did you notice this wolf thing?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So, and like, granted, it's kind of been like, I will say, like, I understand why some people don't know that, because it was like in codex entries and kind of simmering underneath. And so, like, if you don't read, guys, I understand that you wouldn't get it. But so I it's one of the things, like, I kind of understand the frustration. At the same time, I think everyone that like is really deep into the lore is like, yeah, give it to me. so like, it's funny, like, talking to the two different sides of the people. But
I want somebody to take a clip of that audio and then put it. And every time Caitie says switch it to a different, like, hyped up tweet from the fandom where it's just going, just cut, but then loop it so it just says like 30 times, and there's just a series of overhyped tweets on Twitter. If somebody could just do that for me, that'd be great. Appreciate it. The Exalted March thanks you. I can't give you anything except a retweet, but...
Oh, no. Oh, don't use my audio for evil. Oh,
hey, the fandom was hyped as fuck, right? Isn't that kind of cool to see?
Oh yeah, like I mean, Dragon Age trends like every other week at this point. Now, granted, that's because like I'm in the circle and Twitter, like it gives trending things to you, whatever. It's not like, but point is, a lot of people like Dragon Age. But yeah, like everyone was exploding. I had a couple tweets, and my phone still has not shut the fuck up about engagement on those tweets. I'm almost regretting tweeting because it's like every time I look at my phone, it says, "Oh, you have 20 plus notifications." I'm like, Jesus Christ.
Yeah, it's wild.
Oh God. Yeah, when this game comes out, I don't know how I'm going to handle notifications because people aren't going to shut up. I love you guys, but I'm just completely used to a dead fandom, and I have no idea what happens when it becomes active again.
It's going to be phenomenal. It's going to be really, really, really great for you because the algorithm is going to push so many people to your channel, which I think is fantastic because you've got this incredible repository of information that's just ready to go. You've been doing this for years now, but when there's that new person who's like, oh, I got this Dragon Age Dreadwolf game and I haven't played the other ones, but the marketing says it's okay, you can just jump right in. They're going to search for stuff. Who's this? Who's that? And they're going to find fucking Ghildirthalen channel, and they're just going to be able to binge and catch up like to all the lore, which is going to be phenomenal.
I hope so. And I do plan to like do more videos that are more like beginner friendly just because I don't really have a lot of that. But like, holy shit. Like I also like this entire time YouTube will just like auto make like what the game is, and I've just been too lazy to give a shit. And so like almost every time my videos are tagged as something other than Dragon Age, and now I'm thinking like, oh fuck, do I have to go back and edit all of those so I just properly
Fuck. Jack went back and changed the titles on all of his videos, which I thought was really smart.
Really? Oh, good for him. Yeah, I do not have the patience for that. So yeah, if I have to go back and edit everything, just instead of saying like Skyrim or Guild Wars or whatever the fuck it says, I have to put Dragon Age. I'm just gonna like bash my head into a wall. Oh God.
I am excited for new folks coming in.
Yeah,
I'm excited for the people who have started. There's whole swaths of fans. In particular, a lot of them who are engaged on social media now, who started becoming Dragon Age fans post Inquisition coming out. You know what I mean? So this is going to be the first time they get to experience the lead up to a Dragon Age release, which is welcome. That's going to be a lot of fun.
Can I also shout out? There's a friend we haven't talked in a while because we've been busy, but Anne Marie on Twitter. One, it's her birthday. Happy birthday! Two, she has been fans of the series for a while. And like we started talking about Dragon Age back when like Inquisition like was pretty new, and she just didn't want to play. She's a Sovelan at heart. She just didn't want to play Trespasser, and so for her birthday this year, she's playing Trespasser for the first time.
Oh, fun!
That's crazy to me. Like, how could you wait that long? I hope you're enjoying it, Lemon. I hope it's good. I can't imagine like. I don't know. The sheer being able to play the game and not have to wait a decade. What's that like? Is it good?
It's probably fantastic.
Oh God.
Speaking of Sovelans, I want to ask this question probably for the 100th time. Do you think the Inquisitor appears like a la Hawk does in Inquisition?
I don't know how you get away with not doing that at this point. Like so many people, even people that hate Solas, want their Inquisitor to come back so they can personally castrate them. So I have no idea how you get away with not doing that. Like,
so let me ask the follow-up question. Do you feel obliged to do a playthrough with an unmodded appearance for your Inquisitor to make sure that they can come in looking like they expect?
Girl, like you think I don't already have that?
You have like a bunch.
Well, yeah, I have like 100. But like my main Inquisitor, I play all of my main PCs for the most part use a default hair and face style. Like I don't really use a lot of mods just because they can come back easier. And actually, if anything, having Hawk look like Hawk in Inquisition is so fucking hard. So that was a big headache. But no, yeah, like my main Inquisitor is actually almost entirely unmodded except for her clothes, and like even that, like it's clothes. It's been 10 years. People change, you know.
Right.
Yeah, so yeah, that's fine. I think if anything, I'm just want to know what the style of the people, because like each of like the people in the game, like the look of them have been different.
It's true.
So I want to know like what that like how customizable are we going to get? Like, are they going to have the same hairs back? Because like they didn't in between 2 and Inquisition, and so that was like, oh, bring your hawk back, but like everything identifiable to your hawk, just fuck you, fuck you. Okay, cool.
Yeah, how jacked is Solas's neck going to be? That's a real question I have.
Yeah, did he just like did he hit the gym after the breakup and he's just been
and do what? Like neck pull? Like what the fuck?
I don't know. I don't work out my neck.
I'm like, how does his neck get so big? But in any event, yeah. I mean, Varric looks different considerably between 2 and Inquisition,
and then also like it's been 10 years in lore, so like how have everyone aged? You know, is Varric going to come back and he's like, you know, a grandpa now? You know, like,
I thought they did a great job with Morgan. Morgan looks older in Inquisition, and she looks great. I think they did a great job.
Yeah, which just I'll say this now, having a kid myself, how she does not have stretch marks on her tummy is just mad.
She's
blood magic. It's blood magic. She's a witch.
She's a witch.
She's a witch.
This is what witches do, like canonically, classically.
I know, but like having a 10-year-old kid and looking like Morgan does, fuck, man, you're a witch. Good on you, but Jesus,
those Flemeth genes, honestly.
Yeah, fuck. Yeah, Flemeth, like, despite being, you know, however old, and she's, you know, looks like a grandma, like she could get it. She got that push-up bra, you know, it works.
Don't encourage them.
Look, I'm just saying, if I look like Flemeth when I'm Flemeth's age, like how she looks, not how, cause I'm not 500, but yeah, I'd be proud of myself. You know, good on me.
That makes sense. All right, what are you concerned about when it comes to Dragon Age Dreadwolf, and what are you most optimistic about?
So okay, I'll say another tweet. There was a tweet that came out, and it was some guy whose source was "Dude, trust me," that called Dragon Age a woke disaster. We can like, you know, dunk on the woke disaster part all we want. However, I think reading his tweets a bit, I do think maybe there's something more there than they have gays in my game. Like, this didn't sound like, I don't know. I was just kind of reading it. I also will say some of the devs were like dunking on this guy by name, and I don't know if that was a good choice, but who am I to judge, I guess, whatever. The point is, though, is that like, I think there is room for critique if it's, I was actually thinking about this a lot yesterday in the shower, because one of my least favorite moments in Dragon Age series as a whole is in Inquisition, when Cassandra can come up to you as a female Inquisitor and look you dead in the eye and say, "I'm so proud to serve under a strong woman like you." It's not verbatim, it's something like that. And that, it just like took me out of the game, because I'm like, and I know I've complained about this before, but Cassandra, you are a woman, and that serves under the divine, who is a woman, and the chantry that all the powerful people are women. And currently in this world state, the queen of Ferelden is a woman, and the queen of Orlais is a woman, and like Andraste, your Jesus, is a woman. There's a ton of powerful women, Cassandra. What the fuck are you talking about? It's not, and like the moment wasn't, what bothered me about it was that it was taking real life politics and putting it into Dragon Age. You know, like why do you do that? God.
They never should have let me have clips.
No, they should not have.
You're 100% right. I think you're 100% right.
And here's the thing: there is totally room for making real world critiques of politics in your game, and I think that's what Dorian did, and Dorian did it well, because they used the lore to their advantage and making it set in Tevinter, and like the rest of Thedas, they're okay with homosexuality, but Tevinter, and very specifically Dorian's caste, or whatever you want to call it, doesn't like it, because he's really only there to create strong mage children. He needs to get a wife and get married and whatever, and he rebelled against that. You know, that was his story, and that worked, and it does great in the lore. Cassandra's saying, "I'm so glad to serve under a strong woman," which, same writer, by the way, just doesn't work, because it doesn't make sense. And so I think that if a woke disaster is not so much there's gays in my game versus the people in the game doing more of Cassandra's look me dead in the eye and say something that doesn't make sense to the world, then that's going to really bother me. And so I guess like I'm worried if that's what this guy meant, or if it's more just there's gays in my game. You know, like there's a big difference there. And like one is okay, I don't give a shit, and the other one is okay, yeah, that's a little annoying, and like it takes me out of the world. Like if there's like someone in the game that's like from a culture that like homosexuality like in the past has been okay, but now they're talking about how hard it was to be in a same-sex relationship, then like that's gonna be really weird to me. Like, okay, this seems shoehorned in, you know? So I don't know. There could be a lot here. I don't know. I guess like it's just how it was written, you know? So I'm rambling at this point, but you get what I mean. Like there is a right way to do representation, and I hope they do it right. And that's all I'm saying.
I think you're dead on. I honestly think you just said that quite eloquently, actually. I saw that tweet. I saw the reaction to it. I started thinking about it quite a bit myself and wondered, I don't know, maybe if you saw it or if we would mention it. I think it's hard to parse through what some of these things are. Yeah. And I actually think you just did a really good job of it, and you used a really salient example. There are unfortunately a lot of these sort of anti-woke people who are running around, and they seem to be kind of obsessive, short-sighted, often angry, inarticulate, and just completely off base with the things that they're objecting to.
Yeah.
So that's a thing. However, there is such a thing as trying to advocate for ideals and values that you believe in a way that is ham-fisted and shoehorned and not conducive to telling a compelling story.
Yeah.
It doesn't mean that the things you're advocating for are bad. They can, in fact, still be good. Many of us agree that they're good, but that does not mean that you've incorporated them into your story in a way that serves the story or even serves the values you're trying to advocate for.
Yeah, I agree.
When it makes them seem shoehorned, unfortunately, and it really shouldn't go this far, but unfortunately, it even makes people feel kind of off-put by the values, even though they may agree with the values, because you've tried to shoehorn them into a story in a way that doesn't make sense. Alternatively, I absolutely believe that storytelling should be social, political, cultural. Artists should be trying to say things with their art. I don't believe for 1 second that we should take games out of politics or take it out of movies or storytelling or anything like that. Mm-hmm. There are some stories that are nice to just turn your brain off and forget about the things that are going on in the world, and that's not bad either. That's fair. But the really great art says something, and it's artists who are trying to say something about what they think about the world. That's good. BioWare should try to put their values into their story. They have an obligation to, as far as I'm concerned. Yeah. Even if they say a particular thing that I don't agree with, doesn't matter. They, as artists, they not only have the right to, I think that if they're going for making great art, they have an obligation, they have a responsibility to try and say what they think as artists.
Yeah.
However, you do not get applauded for the attempt. That I object to quite vehemently, is that I do think there are some people who are making the case that it does not matter if they artfully and skillfully weave their themes into the characters and the setting and the story. They deserve to be applauded simply for the attempt. Mm-hmm. I think that's nonsense. I think your values and the things you're trying to say might be good, but you are telling a story and you are making a game and you are supposed to be making something that's compelling and interesting. And if you don't weave your themes and your values and your ideals into that in a skillful way, people go thumbs down on that.
Yeah.
Not because they're disagreeing with your values, but because you didn't do a good enough job as storytellers and narrative designers in making that cohesive with the world and the characters. And so I'm not worried about BioWare trying to say what they want to say about any topic, political, cultural, social, or whatever. Not only do I think there needs to be an allowance for that, I think we should encourage artists to do that. But if there's any truth to the idea that they're doing that sort of sloppily or hastily or not as thoughtfully as they should be, yeah, that's cause for concern. But again, this person's source, who is it? Do we know anything really? Is it a good source? Is it not a good source? We don't know. If there's truth to it, yeah, that is a reason to criticize a game, is that they didn't incorporate their themes smoothly enough. But I hope Bioware advocates for what they want to see.
Yeah,
that's their right and their responsibility.
I will say though, and something that because the rise and fall of Trumpism in America, during this game's critique, and the fact that it is so similar to the Venatori and Dragon Age. If I hear "Make Tevinter Great Again" in this game, I am going to roll my eyes so hard. I am so tired of it in my real life. Like, I just don't want. It'd be too on the nose. It's just not. I beg you, don't make that a thing. I'm just so tired of it. I just don't do this to me, please.
I'm gonna sound so ignorant here on this. Is that a word for word quote? They say "Make Tevinter Great Again"?
No, they don't. I'm saying if they do, if they in the next game they say to make Tevinter great again.
Oh, okay. I'm sitting here going like, did I miss that in Inquisition? They actually say that? No. But
now
they do.
They don't say make Tevinter great again. However, their goal is to get Tevinter back to its glory. It is essentially the same thing, So like it would be so easy just to put that in there. And if there's one codex entry where that's in there, I'm just gonna I just don't want to hear it. I just don't want to hear it. It's too on the nose. I can't.
For the sake of the discussion and the fact that it's a podcast, I'll take a slight alternative position. I mean, I agree with you about how in the real world everything becomes about that, and it's kind of frustrating at this point.
Yeah.
But from a reference not an allegorical, but from a reference standpoint, that's a common trope throughout history, right? I mean, wouldn't that comparison more aptly be said to be like, I don't know, the former Soviet Union, or
that's what it was originally supposed to be, right? But like it during like in between games, this just happened in America, and I guess I just don't want to.
I see what you're saying. Yeah, don't pivot it to make it about that.
Yeah, because it is like it happens so often in history, and you can use all these historical references. I just don't want to hear the one I'm currently living in. Maybe that's what this is about.
I don't even know that the American political comparison is even the right one. I mean, Tevinter was an expansionist regime that lost territory and power. I would probably go to the former Soviet Union, or even further back when China had more territory across Asia, or like just different areas of history. And so I guess to your point, that's what Tevinter is really meant to be an allusion to, not to a specific American political phenomenon of the last few years.
Yeah.
I agree with that. Yeah, no, you're right.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's, I guess, maybe somewhat on the concern front. What are we most optimistic for Dreadwolf?
Honestly, like with a name like Dreadwolf, I just want more meaty lore. That's really what I'm excited about, to be honest. Yeah, like I want more puzzles. Like I like the puzzle aspect to the lore. So I want more vague hints. I want more and maybe like you solve one mystery but give me two more. Like I'd be totally fine with that. Give me something to like chew on for the next couple of years as I wait for Dragon Age 5, I guess. I don't even know. Am I going to still be doing this after Dreadwolf? I don't know. But yeah, like I guess I'm more looking forward to more meaty lore history, because like Origins really didn't have that much, because it really was just about the Blight, and it's only been since Dragon Age 2 we're kind of like digging into like how the world of Thedas was made. And with a name like Dreadwolf, it really sounds like they're really gonna get in there, and I think that's what I want the most. So that's what I want.
I think for me, it's a mixture of everything, but it maybe leans a little bit more towards gameplay in that. I said something earlier where I was talking about the title and saying I wanted them to make, whatever they feel is the right thing an RPG should be today. And then I kind of went down the path of making the CRPG comparison. That's not exactly what I meant. That's just one type of comparison. There's that one split second of gameplay that they showed in one of the developer diaries where it looks kind of third-person real-time action-y, maybe like a Souls game. Not trying to read too much into that. That's just another potential path, right? Maybe they come out with something that's more real-time combat. Maybe they come out with something that does harken back to the old days of CRPGs. Maybe it's a goddamn combat system that's based on like a rhythm music game and you play a bard. I don't fucking know. Whatever wild fucking thing that they do, I just hope that they are trying to move the ball forward for themselves.
Yeah.
That they don't lean on what they did in the past. Even if they make something that harkens back to the past, like make it fresh for 2023. Like make it the thing that's going to be the new goalpost. Don't try and be any other game. And that's hard. I mean, that's a tough thing to do. You know, I'm here for whatever the chef wants to cook, honestly. Even if it's not my first choice or not my cup, it doesn't mean I'm going to like it. I'll say if I don't like how the meal came out, I'll give my opinion, but I'm here for whatever they want to do. I just hope they're pushing as much as they can to be their own game and not be like anyone else.
Yeah. And one thing I would like to say, because like there are people that listen to this that have only played Inquisition or even one of the other games. If you have only played one of the games, each game has been so radically different from each other that they're basically different games. So I would not be surprised. In fact, I expect Dreadwolf to play nothing like the other three. And you should too. Like there's similarities, but like Origins is so tactical. 2 is like, how would you even fucking describe 2? I don't fucking know. Like it's more real time, but like there's elements of tactical sort of. Like you could pause the gameplay. And then Origins, like I feel, or not Origins, but Inquisition, I feel like I actually rely more on my team. And like there is a little bit tactical, and then you have tactical cam, but like nobody fucking uses it, or you have to use it in Origins. So
also it sucks in Inquisition because whatever Frostbite, like they couldn't get it to go up high enough, they couldn't make the roof transparent or whatever, like they couldn't. There's all these weird technical things. It's not a very good tactical camera.
Yeah, no. The only use I have ever seen anyone using tactical cam, other than like a challenge where you only use tactical, is you zoom out to see what the dragon is immune to, and then you zoom back in and continue playing.
That's right.
That's what I do.
That's 100% right.
And like, yeah, it's stuff like that. So yeah, I guess like if I can still pause, that would be great, because I really do like pausing during combat, and if they keep that, I would be very, very happy. But like, no one gives a shit about tac cam. No one. If you like tactical cam, you're lying to yourself.
Oh, how dare you?
I know, you're lying to yourself. Now here's the thing: CRPGs, that's great, but I don't think Dragon Age is really a CRPG anymore. Maybe in Origins, yeah, but like it's not. The other two aren't. They just aren't.
Yeah, I mean, and that's fine. Again, if they end up going further away from CRPG, that's fine. Because guess what? Somebody else is making a CRPG, and I can play that.
That's true.
So that's totally fine. It would be nice if, like, even if it's not a CRPG, like the fact that they took so much control out of our hands as far as builds, like builds are really fun. It's really fun to make builds in an RPG and have lots of different classes and lots of different ways you can spec the character. And if you want to hit an auto button and not think about it, that's cool too. But I think that old idea of like, it's too complicated, it's too many menus, and it hurts people's heads. It's like more people than ever are playing actual Dungeons and Dragons. It's never been more popular, even going back to the 80s.
That's true. Yeah.
More people are playing Pathfinder video games, Baldur's Gate inspired video games, Divinity, Pillars of Eternity. Like the old idea that we need to get rid of it because people think it's too complicated. Like give the folks a little credit. Like it's not that complicated. People can figure it out, or put the game on easy mode. There is no shame in that. Pick a fighter, hit things with your sword, just pick a mage, just throw magic shit. You don't have to overthink it. But for those who like it, it's so much fun.
Oh yeah. Yeah. Oh, I'm trying to think of like other hopes. Cool character creator.
We can't close before we can't close before we talk about this. You and I have to have a very important discussion / brawl / fight.
Oh, okay. What's happening?
We are not calling it Dad. Okay, we're not doing it.
Daddy!
It's not happening.
Daddy, come here, Daddy.
It's no. We're not doing it.
Yes.
Absolutely not. I refuse.
Yeah, no. It's Dow, DA2, Die, and Dad.
It's DA Dread.
Dad.
DA Dread movement.
Dad.
For the win.
Dad.
Just as soon as we saw, it was like 2 minutes before somebody had the dad jokes that started. Oh man.
Well, I loved all the dev team. Like pretty much anyone on the dev team was so excited to pull out their best dad joke. Like every single account of people that are on the dev team that I know had some daddy pun.
Can I just say, favorite tweet in like months was Mark Dara sharing the fact that one of the, I guess, potential, maybe it wasn't a true serious contender, was Dragon Age Minrathous Knights, and it would have been damn.
Yeah, no, that's good.
Oh, that would have been so much better. I'm sorry, but Minrathous Knights would have been and he said it's like it wouldn't have really matched necessarily with the content of the game, etc. But it's like, fuck, that would have been a cool name and a great acronym.
Okay, hold on. We're gonna spend the next like 5 minutes and we're gonna workshop damn, but not Minrathous Knights. Okay, what starts with an M in this lore? Other than Minrathous. Surely there is something. An M and an N. How can we do this? Mythal. Mythal starts with an M. Dragon Age, okay. Mythal. What's like a Mythal's Revenge, but we can throw an N in there. Mythal's Knights.
Yeah, I really committed to the man. So we want the damn acronym, but Minrathous Knights just isn't gonna.
It's not gonna cut it. Let's do it. Okay, so we're kind of going with like a heavy, deep lore thing. So I'm gonna throw out Mythal because Mythal is also
Mayvaris nude because everybody wants that.
That's a good one. That's a good one.
You're welcome, you fucks. Now send yourself to jail, all of you.
No, she's saving herself for her dead husband, guys. That's what.
That works. That's the deep lore take.
Yeah, no, Mythal. What's like a good N word? God, that didn't sound good. Let's see. What's like a descriptor word? I'm looking up the thesaurus. Here we go.
Okay.
Okay, thesaurus. I'm looking for like the revenge. We got nothing immediately. How about we'll do vengeance? We'll see vengeance. What's no.
And what other things while we're doing that? Mythal. What other things could be M? Mage. Mage starts with
Mage is a good one. Okay, here's a good Mage Nation, maybe? Kind of, because we're into winter.
What about Mythal Nipple? Is that appropriate from a branding standpoint? Do you think EA would go for that?
That would make all of them Oregon, like, people just absolutely obsessed with it.
Yeah, could be. Mage Nexus.
Okay, that's vague enough to not mean anything and mean anything at the same time. That could work. Mage Nexus.
Mage Nexus is like a freaking cheap iOS game ripoff title.
You could also do like Magic Nexus. That could also, you know, and it's about portals or something.
Yeah.
What are just some words?
Mythal neurosecretions. You can tell I just opened up a fucking dictionary.
I basically did the same thing. North. Is there anything with north? Not really. I mean, we are going north.
That's true.
Mythal. Oh boy, nobility.
Nightmare. What about nightmare?
That again, vague enough to be anything. Mythal's nightmare. That's kind of dumb sounding, but it could work. I'm trying to do something with north. I think we feel like we need more M words too. What are like some very specific Dragon Age?
Oh, that's a good one.
More Navarra. We go to Navarra.
It's very descriptive. We know what we're getting.
Dragon Age, more Navarra.
Well, hold on. What about Nightingale? Isn't that Liliana's
Yeah, but I bet Liliana's not going to come back though. But like maybe.
Yeah, she could. You've denied the possibility of Dragon Age Mommy Nightingale. Look at what you've done with fans.
See, you're taking the shit out of it. We need to be serious. we need to say like, look, you guys fucked up because we have this great fucking name. Well, I'm sorry. I'm just looking up like a list of N words, and there's this one word that is nosegay, and I have to find out what nosegay means. What does
No, you don't. You could just live your whole life and never.
No, I'm gonna know what nosegay means. It's a small bunch of flowers, apparently. Okay.
Oh, okay.
All right. Mathal nosegay. There you go. That's one. What? I've never heard.
Everybody would know what it means.
Yeah. Would they? Nebula. Noodles. Man, names are hard.
Tasty.
Huh? Well, yeah. Yeah, I don't think we got anything here. Maybe we, Jordan, who the fuck am I? We have split the veil. What was I thinking?
You don't have a great track record of this?
No. I'm going to say like Mythol. You know what? No, fuck. We're gonna go Magical Nexus or something like that. We came up with Dragon Age iOS knockoff. That's what we did. Age of Dragons or Magic Nexus. That's gonna be our iOS. And like we use the exact same like ripped assets, but when you open it up, it's like Pac-Man or some bullshit like that.
What number is this of Split the Veil? What episode number is this?
That's a great question. I don't know.
80, 84, 85, something like that.
Let me like do a quick check real quick on the.
It only took us 80 something episodes to start reading the fucking dictionary.
Look, today you learned what nosegay was, viewer. You're welcome.
Tune in to Split the Veil episode 86 when we read the phone book. We'll see you next week.
Oh, God.
Like when you listen to a podcast on like iTunes or fucking Stitcher or whatever, you can see the runtime, right? And so we're probably almost done here. So it's like 2-3 minutes left and people are just going, God damn, is this over yet?
Yeah, wasn't this supposed to be a short episode? We started like, it'll only be like 30 minutes.
It's going to be it's going to be a mini episode. But
that didn't
leave
happen.
it to Ghildirthalen and the Exalted March to talk about some Dragon Age bullshit.
Well, we had at least 10 minutes of the movie review, and then we had 10 minutes of whatever nosegay was, and then that was our podcast. So yeah, look, 20 minutes of fluff.
It's a feature, not a bug. I mean, in all seriousness, like going back to my point earlier, we have been kind of, there are others, but we've been kind of the Bioware focused podcast for like almost 5 years, during which Bioware has not really released games that most Bioware fans would have been into. Like we're the champs of making it through the famine.
Jesus, what the fuck are we going to talk about when there is a game? Are we going to sit there and be like, there's too much to talk about, so we're just going to end it? No, we actually prefer just talking about bullshit for 2 hours.
Everybody finds out.
We've never actually played a Bioware game. We're just talking out of our ass. When there's a new game, they're going to call our shit out, so we have to quit.
I think, honestly, our review of Dragon Age Dreadwolf should be like freaking 4 episodes long. We should probably just do like a mega detailed review.
Yeah, I don't know how that's not going to be 100 hours long, because it's probably going to be like the gut review, and then there's going to be the lore review, and then there's going to be let's talk about the companion episode. Yeah, if you don't like Dragon Age and you listen to us, I'm sorry about these 6 months. We're going to not shut up about it. You know?
Yeah, seriously.
Yeah, maybe if you Mass Effect fans are lucky, there'll be a Mass Effect trailer, and we'll spend 30 minutes talking about it before I can not shut up about Dragon Age lore.
Mass Effect's coming in time.
Yeah. Well, with that, we should quickly run away before we start some other bullshit. But where can they find you, Jordan? Now that you apparently installed Twitter on your phone again.
Yeah, I'm back on the tweet bullshit site. But they can find me at the Exalted March on YouTube, Twitter, and Instagram occasionally. Caitie, where can the folks find you?
You can find me in Ghildirthalen most places, mostly YouTube and Twitter. I'm trying to get back into Instagram, but I haven't posted a YouTube video in almost a month because I've been so busy and sick. And with that, Dereshra.